Welcome back to part two as we work on our plans to rebuild the compost bins. It's a beautiful sunny day today. I can't really show you how nice it is because the sun's so bright, which isn't a complaint at all, quite the opposite. It's lovely to have, but the sun's so bright that I can't see anything when I turn this camera around to the left, which is handy for where we're working at the moment. So plan of attack today is I'm going to dig all of this area out here on the left, and the plan is to put the wood onto the side, attach it all in, but in order to do that I've got to dig it all out first. So I'm going to put the soil back where we just dug all the soil out last week, and then the idea being that I can then put the wood in and then put the soil into that compost bin there, and hopefully by the end of today, when we're finished, it should all look very tidy and organised. So wish me luck, and we'll get cracking. Before I could start digging in the area next to the compost bins in the hill that's sort of formed over the last couple of years, it was really important to take out all of the twigs. The importance of this was there's absolutely no point trying to dig and then just chuck all those twigs straight back onto the compost bins. It just wouldn't serve any purpose. So the first job here, as you can see, I'm picking up quite a few twigs. They'd make brilliant bird's nests actually. So what we're hoping to do with all of these sticks and twigs is to put them in a corner of the park, and hopefully all the birds will pick up on that and have plenty supplies to make their bird's nests as we go into spring. So as I say, at this point I'm just working away here, just removing everything, and then shortly I'll proceed to start the actual digging out of the compost bins. So we finally start digging, and this historic moment is really captures the problem of what we're working with there. So the first spade goes in, or the fork, and look at the size of that branch. I thought it was a twig at first, which starts to become more like a big tree. So again, things like that would never ever break down in a compost bin, and I think that's something that we've really taken from this, is that it's not just a case of this being a dumping ground. It's very much reliant on us of sorting out what type of weeds we put in the compost bin as we put them in. So let's put the pile of the twigs in one section, let's separate the litter out, and obviously let's try and keep just the core area of weeds being the main focus for what we put. But again, seeing the size of some of the branches at this point that I was pulling out was a great example of why we have to manage the compost bins in a lot more efficient manner. But once I've actually got through this section of twigs and whatnot, I was really pleased by actually the type of soil conditions that were in this area. There was some really good soil, which you'll see in a minute as I start to really crack on and dig through it all. So you can see here, this is the remains of the front of the compost bin. It's still there, which is the good news. The bad news is it's really well hidden with lots of soil and sticks and various things. So the next job is to tidy that up and push all that soil and so on backwards, dig out a trough in the front and the side here, and get that upright, and then we'll start to work on connecting it all together. The main thing though at the moment is to try and dig this out, but it does feel very much like an archaeology dig, but it's going to be worth the effort. And the main thing is, though, and I'm really pleased about this, is that it's actually still there, because that would be a problem. But yeah, so I will crack on. So the first job at this point was to remove all of the twigs that hadn't broken down, and there were lots of them. In fact, it felt like I was working on a giant man-made bird's nest in this section. But what you can soon start to see is, as I remove them, the front panel of the compost bin starts to really come out and reveal itself. So it was quite a rewarding job. and but I had to remove all of the twigs before I could obviously start digging. But once I did get to be in a position to start digging, it had a massive impact on the whole project, because it was really good soil. And as you can start to see here now, once I start cracking on, I really do start to speed up a bit. Again, just removing the last few twigs, and again they were going in the twig pile. And my plan here was to put the best soil in the first compost bin that we built last week, and then the least best soil, if that's such a phrase, was to go into the compost bin that we're currently building this week. And as I say, it really gets softer and better soil here, so I really speeded on. So you can finally see we've done it. It's taken a lot of effort. There's a lot of tonnage of soil on top of that, and it got really compacted in. So what had happened was to try and take that out, not only had to dig it out and cut wires, because it was all being held together by wires and so on, but the main thing is it's architecturally still really sound, and will do the job that we need it to do, which is basically to dig out that a little bit more of that front line there, push that back, then connect it with that pallet, put a bigger side pallet on, and that will give us two really good pallets there for the two really good compost bins. So I'm really pleased how that's gone. A lot of effort though. You can see just how deep that is. I had to dig down to get that out. It was a real effort, and on a very cold day I'm quite warm, so it's my form of gym exercise this at the moment. A lot of twigs as well, as you probably saw in the earlier footage, but it's really good, really pleased with that. So next part of the plan is to dig this section out here slightly, and then I can just that soil looks okay, so it shouldn't be, famous last words, too big a job. Then I can push that back, line it up, then I'll dig this out in the same way, and then put that pallet in on the side and screw it all in. So wish me luck. So the moment of truth, and one big lift, and we managed to get it out. Again, really pleased. The half pallet was in great shape, very heavily covered in soil and so on, but really good shape, certainly good enough to use what we want. There was only one missing panel for front panel, but that wasn't a deal breaker. Certainly structurally intact and great for what we're going to use it for. So the first mission was just to dig a few of the areas out around it, so I could get it properly back into place, because it had been really crushed, or pushed down I should say, by the amount of soil. And so it was a quick case of dig that out, try and level it all up again, and really get it into a position then that we could use, and get it into working use again. Now, it was at this point I noticed we had a special guest, and you'll see me look now and identify who our special guest was.
Hiya. How are you? Oh, hallelujah. I've got the camera rolling. Let's see if we get her on.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Binky. Hello. Oh, this is our park cat. Hello. And as you can tell, she's not camera shy, are you? Hello. Oh, you're a lovely cat, aren't you? Here you are. Have you come to see the new compost bins? Oh, I know. Aren't they coming on well? Yeah. Yeah, you got plenty of things to play with here. You have, yeah. So this is Mr. Binky, and she's the park cat. She's come to say hello and see what we're doing. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh, she's very feisty today. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's it. Yeah. So she's very popular with a lot of people, as you can imagine. Doesn't she look lovely? And yeah, I think every good organisation needs a cat. Yeah.
It's lovely for a park.
Isn't it just? Yeah. Oh, she's a film star. Oh. That's it. Oh. So, in looking at all the brambles and all the different things that are going on. Yeah. Oh, there she is, look. She's having a good look round. Yeah. Mr. Binky. Mr. Binky. Oh, she's playing shy. Yeah. What do you think of the compost bin work? Oh. Yeah. Do you like it? It looks a bit different, didn't it, from how it was a few weeks ago? Better. A lot more soil. Yeah. I would love just to pan round now. I'm going to try. It's really, really sunny, so I'm just going to sort of give you a view of everything that's going on. Here we go. And let me introduce you to Eddie.
Hey.
Eddie is our all-round superstar. And Mr. Binky. And Eddie looks after Mr. Binky and does lots and lots of work in the park. Say hello, Eddie.
Hello there. All right.
Yeah, good man. Excellent
It's
stuff.
a nice day today.
Yeah. What have you been doing today, Eddie? What sort of jobs have you been doing?
I've been sweeping leaves up in library gardens and making it tidy.
Oh, excellent.
Tidying up and feeding birds.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
And, looking after Mr. Bing.
Yeah. Key work, mate, key work, absolutely, yeah. Well done, well done.
Cheers.
So I'm going to work on that side now and dig that out. It's pretty compact. I need to go down about 1.5 feet, and that'll level it up with the front panel. So wish me luck as I dig this out and about to discover certain things. I guarantee none of them will be buried treasure. I was right. Definitely no buried treasure, but generally the soil wasn't too bad. There was, though, however, the odd stick that I was finding, and there's one. But generally not too bad at all, and I was able to really dig this out at good speed and dig the trench ready for the full pallet to go in. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. The soil there is really good, just two pieces of wood and mainly soil, so that's a fantastic start. So you can see now, I'll try and get out the shadow here, that I've dug out a good trench there, 1.5 feet down on either side, and then the plan is I can put that in there, slot that in, and then bring in the other piece of pallet. And then, but that's going to be a bigger one, so the side one that allows us to fill the rest of this up with this soil here, hopefully anyway. So I will crack on, but doing really well. That's really speeded things up, that dig there. I wasn't sure what we were going to find, so I'm really chuffed. So this is the pallet that we're going to use for the side one. It's just one that we found actually in the park one day. So you'll find when you work in the park, nothing gets wasted. So at this point, I'm starting to work out where is the best place to put it, how to do it, and if my original idea was going to work or not. So hence the confused expression on my face as I'm trying to work out all of the different angles. But I soon started to work out that perhaps this isn't the right angle, and it might be easier if I rotated the wood out. You can see how it leans across and into it, probably mainly because the ground wasn't level either, really, as you can see by the slope. So a quick step back for a better look, and it all starts to come together as I start to think, right, let's lift this up and see what it looks like if I turn it around. And if that's any better, let's have a look. And at this point it was quite heavy and I was quite tired, So yeah, hence me struggling a little bit, but we start to put it in, and that's better straight away. You just know when these things are in the right space, and you can tell straight away that that's the better fit for this. Now we have the side panel in, it's time to start thinking about the front panel that's going in. One quick look though, still not quite right, and I think it was that front angle as it tipped forward slightly, so I'm just trying to work out if I should put some soil in on the base of that just to try and lift it. And it was hard because, as I mentioned, it's all at a slight angle anyway. Slightly dips as the further left as you look at it, it dips down. Now I'm also working now on the front panel, and just thought I'll give it a quick tidy, remove some old rags. There was a huge bricks made of soil that was stuck into it or wedged into it, so I just removed that and put that in the compost bin. And yeah, and as you can see, I lifted up into to place, and that roughly completes the general design of what it's going to look like, although it still needs to all be attached, and I'm still trying to work out if this is the best angle because of that missing panel. So again, a quick tidy, sorry, a quick turnaround, and I soon have it in place. But again, you can see just how heavy it is by how hard it is for me to maneuver into to place. And yeah, we'll soon have that in situ. But removing all that soil, you can start to see all the soil there that just fell out of it. It just shows how embedded it all had been, and how hidden away by a couple of years worth of soil. But again, we'll soon have that back into to place, and I deliberately put it in that way so that hopefully the soil won't fall out as much as the compost bin fills up with soil. After working my options out, I still didn't feel right about it being on that side, so decided to turn it around and have it front facing with the panels more at the back, so that again that would definitely stop more soil falling out. It wasn't an easy decision, if I was honest, and half of me still isn't quite sure if I made the right decision in the end, but it just felt right. And I know my always thought that if your instinct says one thing, go with your instinct. It often proves to be right in the long run. And now it's just a case of trying to align everything up, and before I screw it all into place. Light from the side, and already it starts to feel and look like a proper park compost area. And that's a really important thing about what we're trying to create, is a real feeling and brand that we are serious players in the park regeneration game. And when I say serious players, I mean people that do things properly and in a professional way, even though we're all volunteers. So right, I will crack on, and I'll let you see how I get on with the drilling and the tying it all together bit now. Before we do, there's somebody I'd like you to meet. Hi everyone, this is one of our other volunteers, one of our best volunteers if I'm honest. This is Irene, who also does lots and lots of things in the park. Hi Irene, how are you?
Hello Paul, lovely. Enjoyed a nice sunny day, worked hard and done some really good job here. I'm really pleased.
Oh, well done Irene. What
lovely.
sort of things have you done today?
Well, I've been weeding over by the Luton Road Gardens,
Oh,
by
yeah.
the railings, from one tree to the other, a few feet, and so ready for you to plant whatever you want to plant.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, beat those
Yeah.
weeds before they all come up, eh?
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
lovely.
Oh,
Thanks, Paul,
you
that's
do a
lovely.
great job Irene, you
Yeah.
really do. Thank you.
Take care. I bet that's terrible.
Right, now the sun's going in, which is a bit worried because the temperatures will drop quite quickly now. So what I'm going to do is fasten these together, and hopefully we might have a little visitor, which you're about to see on screen shortly. She's just coming into play there. There she is. Look, Mr. Binky's come back to say hello. So I'll crack on before it gets too cold, and hopefully we'll get all these in place. One of the joys of having a park cat is you're never short of company, and Mr. Binky's a great companion when you're working on your own, although she, as you can tell, often slows down work, but she's worth it, and a lovely cat if ever there was. So as I say, in between me keeping Mr. Binky entertained, I then started work actually on the drilling of the compost bins together, and I was really chuffed about how this section all comes together. But in the meantime, as you can tell, it was interesting to work alongside Mr. Binky's tail. But she soon realised what I was doing and gave me some space, and left me to crack on. Just before Christmas, we were kindly donated a number of tools and screws to support our wood team that we're creating. And it was really good to put some of the tools to use today on this project, and bring somebody's bereavement to us back into life. And that meant a lot to me personally. And so at this point, I'm using the tools to basically screw and drill everything together, so it's robust and solid, will survive both the weather and any teenagers who want to try and pull it apart. Not that they would, but it's always good when you work in a public place to make things as robust and as strong as you possibly can, as they have to survive against many different challenges. Now that the compost bin was fully screwed together, the plan was to just level out the soil that surrounded the bin, tidy it up, remove any twigs, and also fill this compost bin up with some of that soil and stop any gaps so that soil wouldn't escape, especially when it rained. So it's really just to tidy everything up at this point. So what I've done is I've tried to level this area out as best I can, taking some of the sticks out. You can see the amount of litter though, and it just doesn't break down, which is really frustrating and scary to see. But I've leveled it down as much as I can, put the best of the soil in there, and any weeds I've put in the pile of compost that we're actually currently using for all the park weeds. I've then backfilled slightly this layer here. Now the reason is, although I've screwed it all together, this area will attract quite a bit of attention. A lot of teenagers will sit on this in the summer, and that's fine, they can squash it all down, that's not a problem. But what they do sometimes do, or occasionally, and it takes one character to do it, is start to pull at some of these things, so which is why one was missing in the first place. So the plan is, by just pushing that soil in and leveling it up a bit against that bottom wooden panel of the pallet, hopefully that just makes it that bit harder to pull out and makes it look that bit more established and not worth the effort of doing, because it looks like too much hard work. So I'm hoping that will have that impact. We'll find out in the summer, but I'm pretty confident it will work, and that's why it slightly looks uneven. If this was something in your back garden, you wouldn't need to do that, but in a public space, that's something you always got to think about. But I screwed it all together, and as you can see, it looks so much better than what we started with, which was more like that. Or the pile in the hill at the back there. But now it actually looks like a working compost bed, bin, pile, section, whatever you want to call it. But I'm really pleased, actually, really pleased. And there's actually nothing to stop us from painting this at some point in something bright and cheerful. We do have some painting plans for the park railings around the children's play area, so it's something we'll mull over. But I'm really pleased. It's a great effort, and yeah, a great result that in the space of a couple of days at work. And the weather's been really kind on those days. I wouldn't wanted to done this job when it was raining and really wet. So no, really chuffed, really pleased, as you probably can tell. So I will let you go, and thank you ever so much for watching and taking part in this journey, and meeting some of the team that work here and give their time up. And also you've seen the park cat, so you've just seen a little essence of why we love this park so much. It's full of great people and full of all the best things about life. So I shall love you and leave you and speak to you all soon.